And thank you for joining this first of the Vloggy webinar series on how to use user-generated video content in your marketing streams. We're going to be looking at a whole range of different sectors but today we're going to be focusing on hotels and specifically how to increase your hotel bookability through the use of video. We're going to be taking you through this in about 15 minutes, a short webinar. My name is Justin Wattage. I'm the founder of a company called Vloggy. I'm going to tell you a little bit about us at the end, and we have some redeemable vouchers for you. But I'm joined here today by two experts in their field, Mike Sager and Satu Ronaldo-Spencer. Mike is the customer success manager at SiteMinder, and he's also has a decade of marketing and operations experience across hotels in many regions, and Satu has extensive hospitality and destination sales and marketing experience in Europe, Asia, the US, and Australia. They're going to be taking you through 3 points. First of all, an overview of the importance of video in search results. Then we're going to talk about 3 quick hacks that you can use to boost the online presence of your hotel's online presence. And then ways to incorporate video reviews into your site to boost conversion. And with that, I'm going to hand over to Mike.
Hey, everyone. So quick background context, in terms of why we sort of have some background in this space. SiteMinder is the world's largest channel manager with about 35,000 hotels, and we're one of the largest, if not the largest, hospitality technology vendor focusing on independent properties globally. Cool. Now to jump into it, there's been a really big shift change over the last decade or so. We've seen the migration from your typical print, you'd have to buy ad space when there was an event coming to your city, a migration to digital with the onset of the online booking channels. As we head into 2020, you're going to see a huge, almost seismic shift towards video being the basis for searching, bookability, guest conversion, but also growing the revenue of guests once they arrive at your property. And at the center of that is YouTube. There's over 3 billion searches a month, and it's very much focused on destination videos as opposed to a specific property. You seek the destination as opposed to seeking the hotel itself, okay? Now, the interesting is, because hotels are typically a little bit behind the 8 ball here, where hotels are largely absent from the video search. Some of the very advanced hotel groups have caught on to this and are already turning this on. And to really emphasize what the opportunity they've just seen, there's over 600 hours of video uploaded to YouTube every second. Less than 1% of this is focused on hotels. Now, the larger hotel groups have really begun to weave this into their loyalty programs and to see their conversion. They want to dominate the inventory in their local area. Now, the potential guests want to be able to see certain things about your property once they've figured out the destination they want to go to. They want to see the video of the property, the video of the room type. I remember that when we were booking a holiday recently for my own family, we weren't quite sure about the room setup, and we didn't know which property in Bali really catered for, a couple of young children being in an adjacent room. And we actually chose the hotel that had the best visual layout that could explain what that room looked like. And it was down to some very convoluted photos and flipping through 9 to 10 properties. And also, the guests want to also see the facilities. If they're going there for some R&R, what spas do you have? What's your pool like? What's the amenities like at the hotel? And photos are quickly rotating to video on that front. Now, to be able to get guests to be able to even see your property, you have to actually have your online distribution sorted. A lot of hotels only think it's okay to connect to Booking.com and Expedia. They believe that they'll get 80% of the market exposure, but in reality, all you're doing is making your inventory available to the 2 OTAs that actually typically charge the highest rates. What you want to do, and we found that hotels that connect to at least 5 online channels have 2.5 times the number of reservation nights booked. That's not down to them simply having more channels, but it's the maturity of how the hotel understands online distribution, revenue management, their direct strategy, social media, their loyalty program. So it's not a one-to-one relationship, but it is a data point that shows you that if you understand this and if you connect to more channels, you will drive more bookings. Now, it really depends upon the area that you're in. If you are a bed and breakfast in near the airport in Launceston or Hobart, you're going to want to connect to Flight Center, Jetstar, Huru, Booking.com, GTA, hotel beds. Whereas if you're up in Cairns, which you want to get more Asian traffic, you want to be hooked up to Rakuten, Ctrip, Agoda, and along with the other domestic carriers for the Australia, New Zealand-based traffic. So you really have to know that whoever your channel manager is, whether it's SiteMinder or another one, you should really go to them to say, please build me a curated list of the top performing channels, get on at least 10 or 15, and that will drive your exposure to probably over 100 based on the meta scraping. Now, the cool thing is once you get onto the OTAs, there's actually 3 different ways to be able to drive that conversion. You need to try these 3 different hacks because you're paying them 15 to 18% once you're hooked up. You need to have a very highly responsive booking engine. If the hotels typically, when you land on Google, which has 50% of the search for hotels, the right pane of glass is dominated by Google Places. If you haven't selected your photos, responded to reviews, and claimed your Google Places, they're not going to be able to get to your site. Once they get to your site, you need to have a very SEO-friendly, very responsive, and visually friendly site. Because about 3.5% of the guests will get there. The conversion rate of those direct bookings is very much down to how easy it is to navigate your page and how friendly it is and how visual it is. Now, as a key part of that, you need to have user-generated reviews. So guests, they need to find you and they need to trust you, okay? You have to respond to all comments. If you look at what Airbnb has, which in large part is the most consistent inventory available around the world, they are very, very heavy on reviews, ratings, and visuals. You visit a lot of hotel sites and they cram a lot of information on their webpage and make it very difficult to see their direct bookings. You have to try to think they've nailed it. You know, they're a multi-billion-dollar company that has really worked out what guests want and how they find the rooms. You can skip over them and actually advance faster because you have the local market knowledge. Theirs is a generic cookie cutter globally. You can respond to the reviews, make it personable, and generate video content specific to your property, what you want them to see. Which is exactly the next point. The guests want to be able to see, just as my example of booking a holiday in Bali, they want to see what sets you apart and what makes you different to the other hotels they could book. Are they going for a golf holiday? Are they going with a young family? Are they going to do a lot of sports and they want to have the ability to exercise? They want to see what your facilities are like. You have to make it very visual to see what sets you apart from the other inventory in the area that you may be in. And lastly, this segues into the last slide I'm going to share with you. You have to make sure that the features that set your property apart are very clearly and very readily available. And the cool thing is, once you take a video of one of these things, if you've got a great golf resort next door, if you've got fantastic disabled access, that user-generated video can be propagated throughout your booking site, your social media, your Instagram, and you can actually embed that as a main feature of like a free loyalty program. Some of SiteMinder's hotels have really nailed the free loyalty facility through Facebook. We've got some hotels around the world that have 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 followers. One of those examples is Emirates One and Only, but they will spend 15, 20, 25K on a video, which will be embedded on their social media. You can accomplish the same thing through a user-generated video, which is more authentic, but will give that same unique feature set, which is unique to your property. Cool. And on that same theme, I'm going to hand over to Satu, who can walk you through the differences between that curated video and one that's user-generated.
Thank you, Mike. Good afternoon, everyone. So there is a big problem when we think of video production, because we know that creating marketing videos is expensive, slow, and it's pretty hard work. It's quite complex process to go through. And based on our research, what we've done in this region, video shoots can cost at least $24,000 and can take up to 13 weeks. And the issues in these ones are that even though they might look good, the result is often too generic promotional video. They are often salesy and get outdated very quickly. The one big issue as well is that ROI for professional videos is very hard to measure. So the solution is that every guest today has a mobile phone that has high definition video camera. You can actually invite your guests to be your video content providers. And today's smart tech allows video automation so that editing is not needed. I call it really video production for dummies, including myself, but I am not no dummy anymore. So guest video content is also a very powerful organic content for SEO. Today's platforms allows you to capture guest experiences on video from many angles. You can have multiple contributions from multiple locations and multiple viewpoints to provide very specialized, authentic niche video reviews with captions. And these are the really great things that can differentiate you from your competition. So how do we recommend to use video reviews? We have 3 examples here for you. The first one is from Fairmont, taken from during a weekend by a guest, and you can embed this type of video reviews on your homepage. As you can see, it looks really professional, it's very authentic, it's lively, and it also have captions that your guests can actually add in the video reviews to tell their story. The second case video we can show you is from Capella Resort in Sentosa. You can show these short videos when your guests go to book from your site. Again, you know, looks very good, and there's a really nice story captured by a guest. And the third example we have is from Explore Southwest destination video. You can really increase the revenue by showcasing your facilities, experiences, and local attractions and other ancillary services to create more stickiness to your offerings. Just to recap, the guest-produced video content is really, really powerful. Guests are looking for social proof. And we all know that the guest experience starts the moment we start looking for first destinations and then a place to stay. Where would be ideal hotel to stay? And of course, we all know that hotels are selected during the decision-making phase of the purchase. Authentic photos and videos posted by friends, family or peers are really top inspiration. And we have listed here 6 major types of social proof. And the most powerful is, of course, if it comes from your customers who have experienced your product. Now, Starklad has done a very interesting research that shows the importance and also benefits of user-generated content strategy. In this research, they researched over 1,590 consumers and over 150 marketers in US, UK, and Australia. And what this research tells us that 86% of people have become interested in traveling to a destination after seeing visual images in social media from their friends, family, and peers. But also very interestingly, the percentage of people who would post an image of a positive travel experience when it comes to destination, over 89% of respondees would do that. They would post an image of a positive travel experience in a destination. When it comes to hotels, the percentage is also really high, 83%. This shows how influential peers' recommendations are in purchasing decisions. Now, user-generated content strategy is really scalable. It can be used as omni-channel marketing in your website, emails, in your booking tool, It can even be put it in event widget where you can aggregate and display specific content in your property, in lobby screens, conferences, and other promotions. So the benefits are really great. There are 4 major benefits that you can get from user-generated content strategy. You can improve your ROI to increase efficiency. You can build visual library. You can use all this content visuals from which are authentic from different campaigns. You can increase revenue. You can increase your online sales, and of course reduce cost, because your content costs are much less than producing really professional video by film crews. So we are really tribal beings, and we want to watch people like us. Non-user-generated content is trusted today 7 times more than paid content, and it's non-monetary. Based on TripAdvisor, 87% of the reviewers want to share good experiences. But what is very different today, that actually YouTube videos are now much more trusted than TripAdvisor reviews. So how would you then get the video reviews from your guests? What we recommend that you would activate your guests. You can launch a local promotion in the hotel using your complementary products and services. For example, best video of the day would get a bottle of wine. You can also promote your wider your promotion to your wider network using emails or social or content marketing channels. And use your community of your loyal customers and advocates as videographers. Now I hand back to Justin, who will give you more details of how you can get video reviews by using Vloggy platform.
Thank you, Satu, and thank you, Mike. So this is actually where we come in. So Vloggy is a collaborative video production platform. We actually allow you to turn your community into your videographers. We have a set of tools that make it easy for hotels to create authentic video stories from their customers' contributions. I'll quickly overview how we do that. So we actually have 2 products in one. We have an app that makes it really easy for your guests to actually film their experiences in easy 10-second chunks, and the app does a lot of work behind the scenes to make that video sharper and crisper and stable, so you know that the video quality coming in is actually better than they would get from their phone normally. But more importantly for you, we've built a platform where you can just drag and drop the clips that you want into a predetermined template and then publish it on whatever social media channel you want to use. So I think, as Sati said earlier, it's video production for dummies. It's no editing required. It's just a simple drag and drop interface that has all of the branding that you need already preset. And so that it's really simple, and we'd love to show you more on a demo. And in fact, anyone who's watching this webinar will actually get 2 months free, which is a value of $158 US. And we'll sign up anyone there, and we'll build your first video template for you and get you going and give you some advice on how to do it. Embedded in this webinar somewhere at the end is the redemption code. I can share that with you all. Feel free to email me as well. So that's what we're going to give you all today to give you a try. Over to question and answers. I think we had some on the line. There's a question here so I'm just reading this. How do you actually incentivize your customers to do it? That's a good question. Thank you, Julie. Really, the answer is to use local incentives, such as giving away any of your complementary products. So it could be coffee vouchers, it could be bottles of wine, or it could be even room upgrades. How you manage that on a local level is fine, and then if you have a loyalty program, then you may actually want to do that, because what you're looking for is your best ambassadors, people who are going to tell the best stories when they do these video reviews. Any other questions? I can't see any more popping up. No, okay. Well, I'll give the last screen has our email addresses, so please feel free to actually email us with some questions, And in the follow-up, we'll have the redemption code for the free 2 months of service. Also go to vloggy.com/hotels for more information on what we've discussed today. Thank you very much. I'll close this webinar.